This conference will now be recorded.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the LRGVDC Board of Directors meeting. The time is now 12:16 p.m. We'll call this meeting to order. It has been posted as required by state law, and we'll begin with the roll call.
City of Harlingen,
Present?
City of Mission, Willacy County, City of Brownsville, City of Edinburgh, City of Westlaco, Cameron County,
Present.
Hidalgo County, City of Alamo, City of Donna, Sullivan City, City of San Perlita, City of Los Fresnos, City of McAllen, City of Pharr, City of Raymondville, City of San Benito, City of San Juan, UTRGV. Thank you. South Texas College, TSCC, Mr. Allen, Ron Mills, Jim Darling, Mr. Chavez, Miss Ann Cass, and Miss Lupita Martinez.
Present.
We have quorum.
All right, fantastic. If we all could please rise for the invocation.
Dear Lord, bless us as we gather here today to conduct business that will affect the citizens of the Rio Grande Valley. Give us the clarity of mind to act in their best interest, not ours. We ask that you bless our speakers and that you would bless our time together today. May we grasp those things that you want us to understand, and may our actions and our attitudes please you this day. We pray these in your name. Amen.
Amen. Now the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Right. And we do have Manny with us today, but he is online. He's feeling a little under the weather. But we will move on to item 2, consideration and action to approve the meeting minutes for October 30, 2024. Are there any amendments to the minutes? No amendments. Is there a motion to approve? Moved by City of Mission, second by City of Raymondville. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 3, public comment. Is there anyone signed up for public comment? All right, we'll close item 3 for public comment and moving on to item 4, administration. Manny?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. And I apologize, couldn't be there in person. I'm a little under the weather, so I'm just across the lobby. If anybody wants to talk to me, I'm over here. But thought I'd be away from you guys, so don't want to get anybody sick. Want you all to wish me good things, not bad things during Christmas. So we can move forward with the first item is under administration. Hope everybody can hear me. Sound good?
Yes.
Okay. So the first item we have under administration is item number 1, consideration and action to approve social media policy and generative artificial intelligence. So as the governing body of the Lower Rio Grande Valley Development Council, the board of directors is responsible for the general policies and the programs of LRGVDC. The LRGVDC's personal policy manual includes a comprehensive set of policies that establish, provide rules, guidelines, and standards for our staff and representatives. So we've been working with this with the state, and so we have this particular item here before you today for consideration to approve related to social media and IA, technology.
Okay. Are there any questions?
I have a question. Is this Oh, Manny, was it a state write it, or did we write it internally, or who wrote the policy?
Yeah, we worked with TARC, the Texas Association of Regional Councils, and so their lawyers drafted up a draft, and then they provided to all the COGs. We did provide it to our legal here, Denton and Navarro, to fine tune it and draft it, and so it's been vetted through that, so we're good.
Okay.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 2 is consideration and action to approve covered application and prohibited technology policy. And so this is an actual law that passed with the 88th legislative session in 2022, Senate Bill 1893, which prohibits the use of certain social media applications and services on state and local government devices. And so as you all are very familiar with TikTok, that's the one of the technologies that is prohibited, and it was passed through the 88th legislative session in Senate Bill 1893. And so it was passed back in 22, but was delayed until the DIR and DPS could develop a model policy that prohibits the covered applications. And so again, this is a bill that was passed, and it actually became effective November 20th. But we thought of bring it before the board for review and approval.
Okay, so this is just housekeeping. Is there a
Yes.
motion to approve? All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 3 is consideration and action to approve interlocal cooperative contract between UTRGV and the Laurel Grand Valley Development Council related to the use of UTRGV's Regional Security Operations Center services. And so in 2020, the DIR recommended to the legislator to create a Regional Security Operations Center and place them in throughout the state of Texas in universities. And so thus far, only 2 have been created, one in San Angelo and the other one recently here in Edinburgh. Back in October the 9th, we had the opportunity to meet with staff of the UTRGV RSOC. And so, and again, this was put into place so that it could help local governments tackle the cybersecurity issue that's been ongoing here lately. So there's no cost involved other than if anything is needed here at the COG for implementation, any software or equipment, that would be the only cost that we would absorb. But other than that, it's technical assistance provided by the RSOC.
Fantastic. Questions?
You had a question? Now, Manny, on this, sir, we would have the right to request certain services. Does that come through your office or individual departments?
It would be through our office, the main office, the admin office, obviously, for all our programs within the LRGVDC.
Okay, thank you.
Any further discussion? Is there a motion? We have a second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on.
Okay, item number 4 is consideration and action on the date and time of the annual report, Budget Committee and State of the COG. And so for this item, the vice president usually chairs the meeting or whoever's present. There's no quorum needed for this item, but we are going to have the first ever State of the COG. And so, along with that, we have the annual report and budget that needs to be reviewed. That is going to be recommended for the board when they meet at the end of the month in January 29th of 2025. And so before you approve, just wanted to pass it on to Javier Dominguez. He has additional details for this particular meeting that he'd like to share with you all.
Thank you, Mr. Cruz. Good afternoon, board. Like Mr. Cruz said, my name is Javier Dominguez. I'm the executive analyst here at the LRGVDC, and I'm here to talk a little bit more in details about the State of the COG address. And so as Mr. Cruz mentioned, this is Typically, when we would hold our annual report meeting, which happens typically the second week of January, and the board approves that date and time every December, we wanted to try to challenge ourselves to make it a little bit more of a grander scale. So the annual report, for those who may not be familiar with it, is the opportunity for us to congratulate all of our programs on all their accomplishments and also talk about all their aspirations for the upcoming year. So even though it's for the 2024 year, that's what's called the 2025 annual report. And the budget, and like Mr. Cruz also mentioned, that this is where the first time that we'll be showing the board as well the budget, that which will be put off a recommendation for the end of the month in January. For the first time, we've also been challenged to sort of spread the word of the LRGVDC to our region, and we wanted to take this as an opportunity to recognize some of our regional planners and stakeholders. Either they come to our meetings or they may be working in your communities that we might not know of. And so we're rewarding 6 planners, either from the city or the county or from any agency that is from general membership, here, and recognizing them in front of you for their hard work and dedication and presenting them the award. And so we do have some criteria that we're going to send out to you. If you have anyone in mind, it's kind of hard just to pick 6, right? But this is the first time that we're doing it. And so obviously with more feedback, and we're also funding all of this through sponsorships as well. So we also have to keep that in mind. And so just looking at population, we decided to get 3 from Hidalgo County, 2 from Cameron, and 1 from Willacy for the 6 and divide it that way. Just try to be as equitable as possible. So we will be presenting the annual report. We'll be rewarding those planners from around the region and presenting the budget. It will be hopefully with your approval today on Thursday, January 9th from 11:30 to 1:30, and lunch will be provided. It'll be here at the LRGVDC Ken Jones boardroom where this meeting is currently being held. We will have a different configuration, obviously, and some round tables, and we're getting some tablecloths to kind of, just it up a bit, right? And so it'll be, hopefully with your feedback, we can make this into an annual event that we can continue and make it grander and bigger, and maybe one day have it somewhere else other than the Ken Jones, right? Because so many people want to come. But just to also let you know, with the seating capacity, we do have 60 seating capacity as well, in case anyone wants to know. So we do have 4 platinum sponsors for the event. So with that sponsorship, one person from that entity gets to bring a +1. The board members and also some of our directors will be attending the event as well. So that's just some of the background information on it. And so at this moment, if there's any discussion, if not, we just need your approval for the 9th of January for that time to be able to hold the event.
And it's at 1, is that what you said?
11:30 to 1:30, so it's gonna be a 2-hour block, and so we're hoping to serve lunch at noon. Obviously, people arrive, sit down, serve lunch maybe before noon, right? But it won't take that long. But yeah.
And it won't be box lunches, I promise. So it's
Yeah,
gonna
not
be
just
catered.
yeah. Mm-hmm. That we're gonna send an email out to you today, and then if you can just respond as soon as possible, would be greatly appreciated. That way, before the holidays, that way we can have the 6th and we can look at the list of nominees. Yeah, and we've already ordered the trophies, so they're on their way. They will be here. Yes. It would typically think of a planner like a city employee or a county employee, but we understand it could be someone who does programming for programs either at UTRGV or for a city. So it doesn't have to, their title doesn't have to be a planner. It could be someone who is a city secretary, but they've been working on initiatives because they have so many hats, they do so many things. And so it's just anyone who works at a city or a county. We're just using the general term planner because they plan things for your communities. Yes, I'll put that. Thank you. Thank you for the feedback.
And are those the only awards?
Yes, for now, for this first one, and with feedback, maybe we can change it up and add more categories or something like that. Of course. Mhm.
Fantastic. Is there any other discussion? Is there a motion? Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, on the next item, just item B for executive director's report. Don't have any lengthy report for you. Just wanted to make you aware, as you know, the 88th legislative session will start January 14th. And so thus far, there's about a little bit over 1,500 bills that have been submitted, filed. And so we're anxious to look and see what the outcome will be on that. And it goes all the way to probably June, this session. So just stay tuned. I'll be providing information as TARC provides it to me on the bills, a list of bills. That way you can be in the know of what's being discussed and approved throughout the process.
All right. And moving on to item number 5, department reports. Item 5A, community and economic development. Ms. Gonzalez?
Good afternoon, everyone. Today I've got 2 action items. The first one is, I would like to see we can consider and approve the 2 new members for our EDAC, representing the special EDO of Brownsville Community.
Can that person get closer to the mic? We can't hear online.
Can you hear me now, Commissioner David?
Yes.
Okay, sorry, I had forgot to hit the on button. But today I've come to you with 2 action items. The first one is consideration and action to approve 2 new members for the RGV EDAC. One would be a special EDO category for the Brownsville Community Improvement Corporation, the BCIC, and then Institute of Higher Learning for Cameron County, Texas State Technical College. So I'm asking approval. These members were approved by the EDAC on December the 4th. So we're just pending board approval.
I move approval of the recommendation as stated.
All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. And after that, we're just missing 2 special EDOs to have a full-fledged EDAC. And my second agenda item is consideration to approve and reappoint the odd number solid waste advisory committee members. They were all approved on December 3rd at our SWAC meeting. So their list is there. If you have any questions, I'm asking for approval for everybody that's appointed odd number years for those listed on your agenda items.
All right. Is there a second? All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
And the only other thing I have pending is we are currently working on our SEDS, Comprehensive Economic Development Strategies. We should have a draft ready to go for our EDAC by January, hopefully to bring it to the board by February to get it to EDA by March. So that's all I have for today. Just wishing everybody blessed Merry Christmas and a happy 2025.
Thank you, Ms. Gonzalez. 5B, Health and Human Services. Ms. Lopez?
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you once again for being here, especially today. I'm sure everyone wants to be home nice and warm. I want to take a moment here to sincerely thank you all. Thanks to the board of directors for your support and guidance. Your leadership has definitely been essential in driving our mission forward and making a lasting impact on the lives of those we serve, specifically our aging adults. With your help in approving key action items and offering your continued encouragement, we have been able to achieve the following milestones, among many others that you saw in the report I submitted to you in this month's report. We did receive international recognition with our care transition intervention program. Our team were able to make 3,237 contacts within the 6 hospitals that we are housed in the Valley. These are the individuals that we help, and we make sure that they go home and have everything they need to avoid that they go back into the hospital within 30 days. We did host impactful clinics for our veterans and caregivers for individuals with disabilities, or caregivers for our veterans, or caregivers for our older adults. We expanded our services in Willacy County, and we were able to provide and enhance our transportation services, which have been a big challenge in the past few years. We hosted our Life and Disability Conference. We reached 56 outreach events. We were able to host our 3rd annual Veteran Festival on November 20th in Edinburgh. We want to go ahead and give a shout out to Mayor Ramiro Garza. I don't know how he was able to do it that day, but he was in about 5 or 6 events and he made it to ours, and he was able to address those 50 other community service, other agencies that were there with us. helping and serving our veterans and their families. So thank you so much to Mayor Ramiro Garza and his team. Also to Municipal Court Judge in Elsa Eliazar Rodriguez, who is the owner of the adult daycare La Palma in Edinburgh, who sponsored the center for us to be able to host this event. Thank you all for all the help. In the area of the service milestones that we also were able to accomplish, we supported over 4,000 clients this year with health maintenance, homemaker services, and residential repairs. And talking about transportation, we have sub-recipients, right? We help not only the people that we help directly that come to the area agency on aging, but also that go to Los Fresnos for help or through WellMed. We were able to sponsor 32,651 trips for non-medical purposes. Okay, so that surpassed the transportation goals by over 20,000 trips this year. We provided 303 ADA compliance home upgrades. And those are just among other things that we did. So again, I want to remind you how grateful we are and how important it is every month when you take the time to come during your lunchtime and approve our action items. So thank you once again for all the blessings that you do when you approve or disapprove, and when you take the time to question me and suggest that we take an extra mile and an extra step to look at those in rural areas and take care of those blind spots that we may be overlooking. Thank you so much for your time. Do you have any questions on my report? Or
Thank
if
you so much, Ms. Lopez.
Thank you. Have a Merry Christmas.
Moving on to item 5C, public safety. Manny?
Yes, ma'am. I have Mr. Cesar Merla, Assistant Director for Criminal Justice and Homeland Security, presenting.
Yes, good afternoon, Board of Directors, Board President, and LRGVDC staff. I do have 4 action items today, and if it would be approved by the boards, if I can read through them and then approve at the end.
Okay. If we can just, I think everybody's taken a look at their packet. If you want to just go through the first one, and we'll try to get everybody out of here as quickly as possible.
Trying to get the docket out. All right. So first on the docket, consideration action to approve resolutions for the FY 2025-2026 nonprofit security grant funding. This is one of the funding programs coming up in the upcoming grant cycle. Item number 2, consideration action to approve resolution for the FY 2025-2026 Homeland Security grant funding, another funding source that we'll be potentially applying to. Action item number 3, consideration action to approve resolution for the FY 25-26 coordinator for the Regional Fire Academy. That is a fire academy grant that we continue to manage here at the Lower Grand Valley Development Council. And action item number 4, consideration action to approve the appointment of replacement Homeland Security Advisory Committee member Michael Silva, who is the replacement for Chief Adrian Garcia, who retired in November.
Perfect. Is there any discussion on item 1, C1? If not, is there a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Is there a second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item C2, any discussion or questions? No? All right.
Move to approve.
Thank you, Mayor Darling. Second by Mayor Norton. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 3, any discussion? Not, is there a motion?
Move to approve.
Mayor Darling's on a
Thank you, Mayor
roll.
Darling.
I'm going to go off 4 at once.
Do we have a second? Second by City of Raymondville. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. And item 4, any discussion? Not, is there a motion to approve, Mayor?
Move to approve.
Do we have a second? All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. I do have my report attached. I do want to highlight some
Okay.
upcoming trainings that are available to the region. The first one on the page there, February 20th, 2025, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. That is a senior officials workshop for all hazards approach and for training purposes. So if you yourselves are interested in this, or if you have a new emergency manager or someone that could take on a little bit of training, the registration will be available in January, for February 20th. The summary of the course is there. It is free of charge, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. with some breakout sessions. On January 10th, we will be hosting another Narcan training here at the Lower Rio Grande Valley Development Council. There is a registration link, and that is a Friday with several sessions throughout that day. And it's one of those things that, again, Narcan saves lives, at least adding 10 to 15 minutes to someone for responders to get to. So that's very, very crucial. And last, but certainly not least, I did want to take this time to an opportunity. Our annual Ready RGV conference is having a little bit of a name change. We're adding some 956 flavor to that. So now this is the second annual Listo RGV conference. And this will be September 24th through the 26th. So it's a little bit more time for planning. But this is the save the date flyer. Of course, all those categories, there are individuals that can attend, and we are working to have a TCO credit as well as mental health credit, and of course is open to anyone here. So this will be a second annual Ready RGV conference. And what's not listed here, and I just wanted to make an announcement, the FY 25-26 grants for Homeland Security and Criminal Justice will be opening up December 16th and will close February 13th, 2025 at 5 p.m. A webinar will be available December 20th, a Friday from 10 to 11:30. More information to follow as the week progresses into next week, but that is all I have, pending your questions.
That's great. Maybe if we can get an email with the flyer and so we can get on everybody's calendar.
Yes, I'll make sure to send that after the meeting.
All right. Any other discussion? Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Moving on to public safety.
Yes, next item is the Regional Police Academy Program Action Items. Mr. Javier Solis will present.
Good afternoon, Madam Mayor. Well, before continuing on, ma'am, I'd like to thank you for stepping into the position that you stepped into this year. Your leadership has been it's been wonderful resource and an inspiration for leadership. So thank you very much. And thank you all for the hard work that you do every day for the constituents of the Lower Rio Grande Valley. My name is Javier Solis, Assistant Public Safety for the Lower Rio Grande Valley Academy. I have one action item today. I'll try to be as brief as I can. Action item number 1, consideration and action to approve an interlocal agreement for cooperative extension services and Lower Rio Grande Valley Academy side between the Lower Rio Grande Valley Academy and the Rio Grande Police Department. And with the authority for LRGVDC Executive Director Manuel Cruz to sign and finalize the agreement. We are collaborating with the Rio Grande Police Department by entering into this interlocal agreement that extends our services to be able to provide basic peace officer academies to the community in Stark County. I know that they're not part of our COG, but currently the way it sits in Stark County, they either have to go all the way to Laredo or they have to send their people all the way to the Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office. We find ourselves in a very unique position where we can help out our neighbors. And there are a lot of young individuals in that community that want to seek an opportunity as law enforcement as a career. And by entering into this agreement, we're able to make that happen for them. So we humbly ask for your consideration, action, and approval on this action item. Does anyone have any questions on it?
No questions, no discussion? Got a motion with City of Raymondville. Second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
As far as my reports, there's just a few things that I want to highlight. Last month, we partnered up with Health and Human Services from the Lower Rio Grande Valley Development Council, and we held our inaugural Heroes in Action Veteran Marksmanship Competition. You may recognize that individual in that center photograph there. Mr. Cruz participated. He is a veteran. This was an event where we provided firearm training and held a friendly marksmanship competition in honor of Veterans Day. We also held our 226th LRGV Mission Academy graduation. Mayor Garza, thank you very much for that video that you sent. I was there. I know you couldn't make it, but thank you very much for sending that message out to the cadets. It was very inspiring. We ended up graduating a total of 21 cadets from the Mission Police Academy. For the year, this is the first academy with Mission where we've had back back 100% pass ratio with all of our cadets. Every one of our cadets within the last 3 academies passed the state licensing exam. When I inherited the program in January, we were at a 77% GPA. Our contract with the state of Texas says that we have to maintain at least an 80% GPA. I am so proud to stand before you today saying that we have finished the year with a 95% GPA for all of our academies. We graduated 80 out of 84 cadets, putting out a total of 80 officers for the region. We have one more academy left, but they will graduate next year. They're getting ready and making preparations for graduation in Edinburgh. That'll be another 21 officers that we provide to the region. Our last month's numbers, new police officers added to the region was 21. Total in-service courses taught, 2. Total officers trained within the region, 37. Our total contact hours last month was 412 contact classroom hours. And total officers trained in active shooter response, 22. That puts us at the year for 80 new officers within the region, a total of 119 in-service courses taught to officers within the region. The proud number that I have is 2,017 officers trained through our academy. This is throughout the region, throughout the Rio Grande Valley, with a total of 85,727 contact hours and a total of 459 officers trained in active shooter response. Not only did we meet our expectations, we obliterated it. And we're looking forward to hitting the ground running in January. Thank you all so much, like Ms. Lopez said, for all the approvals that you give us throughout the year. You make our job easy in being able to do this and reaching our mission. Our mission at the Academy, to provide highly trained, highly qualified officers for the region. And we're going to continue to do it. Thank you all very much. Yes, sir, Commissioner. Yes, sir. If you are a Texas peace officer, whether you're reserved, retired, every Texas certified peace officer has to conduct 16 hours of active shooter training through alert every 2 years. So if you need assistance with that, just reach out to me, sir. We'll get it done.
Congratulations on all your success. Thank you so much for all your hard work. All right, moving on. We have,
Next would be Mr. Dennis Moreno for RGV 911.
Good afternoon, board members. As this is our final year of our last meeting, I'd like to take a moment to wish everyone a happy holiday season. So thank you all for doing everything to support our community. On our report, there's no action items, just updates. I do want to begin with our GIS team's accomplishments. This year, they created over 2,750 tickets. They average approximately about 300 tickets a month. In addition, they've also take the role of updating addresses. They take address points. That's over 4,339 address points, nearly 30,000 in productions completed this year. So I want to acknowledge their efforts in ensuring that our 911 map is up to date for our residents, and it's a great job well done on their behalf. And I also want to move on to our IT team, who have successfully completed our 911 audits for this year. I'm proud to highlight that their work is ensuring about 434,000 911 calls across Hidalgo and Willacy County. So that's putting us on track to handle about 500,000 calls this year. So they've done a great job in ensuring that 99.9 call delivery. Beyond the call handling, the IT team has been instrumental in safeguarding our 911 system. This year, we've implemented security measures of keeping and protecting against potential, domestic or foreign entities. Their dedication has been monumental in putting safety for our community first. And definitely, I want to highlight a great job for all our team that's been doing so, and going into our community engagement team, wrapping up the year. They participated over 22 community national night out events, but totaling about 90 events all total for this year. So I want to thank all the cities for providing that invitation for this year, and we will look carrying on this momentum for next year. So it's a good job well done for the entire district, and I appreciate your all's efforts throughout every month supporting us. So thank you all. If you all have any questions, I'm available. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. And moving on to transportation, Mr. Logan.
Good afternoon. Happy holidays to all. First action item is consideration and action to approve revised ADA policy and procedures. The Valley Metro's ADA policy and procedures that is designated to ensure equal access and non-discriminatory service for individuals with disabilities in various sectors. This is a program requirement from our federal and state funding agencies. We do have to look at the policy on an annual basis and make any needed upgrades.
Any discussion, questions? Is there a motion? Question?
I had a question. How come an emotional support dog not on your bus? Can't go on your buses?
It's the federal law, so we're just following it. Basically, if it's a service animal, they can board with it. An emotional has been not granted that access.
And the other question I had, seatbelts are not mandatory, but there's a bunch of exceptions to not wearing a seatbelt. So if you're not mandatory, why do you need exceptions to the policy?
Again, it's another federal policy that we're required to follow. They have the option to waive that requirement, but they do have to sign that policy, that form that states that we're not liable for them not wearing that seatbelt.
Good questions.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Is there a second? Second by Mayor Guerra. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Action item number 2, consideration and action to approve the revised Valley Metro operations policies and procedures. Again, we're doing a lot of redlining, updating our employee names, titles, and organizational chart, along with adding new appendixes for non-revenue vehicle usage, Valley Metro building and bus camera access policy, child-free workplace policy, and bloodborne pathogens standard operating procedures. We're incorporating all those appendixes into our policy.
Questions? If there's no questions, is there a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Action item number 3, consideration and action to approve the revised Valley Metro Public Transportation Agency Safety Plan. Again, the Federal Transit Administration incorporated new requirements that we added to our plan to make sure we're in compliance. Normally during our triennial, that's one of the things that they're looking at, since the safety plan is a new component to our program requirements.
Question? Discussion?
Oh, move to approve.
All right.
Thank you.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
For our program report, ridership is at over 200,000 year to date. That's a 9% increase. So people are using our service. We're seeing more usage of our automated pay system. They're using those, buying passes, using their credit cards. So we're happy that they're taking advantage of those new features in our farebox system.
Do we have any numbers on how many people use the buses to vote?
I believe that's part of the presentation. Do we have the presentation, Felipe?
Just a quick summary.
Quick summary, yes.
I don't mean to put you on the spot. If you didn't have it to share, we can do it next
On
time.
August 28th, you guys approved, the board approved for us to initiate the right to vote. So staff got really busy and created a lot of PR materials in social media. And again, we also had a lot of coverage from the media. We had Channel 5 running a full report. They interviewed Manny. Do you want to go back once? One more? Oh, no, keep forward. One more forward. That's okay. So I wanted to highlight, we had videos. We have 2 different videos showing All of our buses with destination signs would put free rides for boating. Um, we had a total of activity through our routes, all the routes we saw activity. Over 274 people actually ride for free. But in social media, we had a lot of hits. Over 1,000 people went into and view our videos and saw the messages. So I think it was a success. Even though we only had it for 12 days, I think the turnaround was very significant.
270, is that what you said?
Yes.
I think that's
But
pretty
it was
impressive.
across the 5-county area, so that was great. So the word got out. I do want to thank Mayor Cohen with the City of Brownsville. They sponsor this. They're a platinum sponsor, along with the Voces Unidas, Ms. Lupita Sanchez. She was the silver sponsor for this event. And we also had Frontier Signs out of Brownsville, who sponsor the posters that we put on, the decals that we put on the buses. So I want to, Mr. Franco, I want to give him a big thank you for helping us put this together.
That's awesome.
Tom, it'd be interesting to see if, I like that graph that shows the routes, like, where those 274, but interesting if that also correlates to the popularity of that route. Because maybe those are riders, basically, if it's free, they're riding.
Right.
So maybe you could capture new ridership based on that, right?
Yes.
So maybe other incentives, other days or something like that to kind of infuse that. But if you're riding for free means you'll ride, so then,
Yeah.
And Mayor, I want to thank you personally for putting that video together. I think that's something that we use out there, just that big flag showing that there was a great opportunity for the people to not only go and do their civil right by voting, but also to experience transit.
Absolutely. I think it's great. I think wonderful results for such a short turnaround. So good job, staff.
Yeah,
getting
staff did
sponsors and getting everything.
excellent job. Yes.
Maybe something to adopt moving forward. It seems like it can only improve from here.
I agree.
Great
Thank
job.
you.
Thank you. And last but not least, we've got the MPO.
Good afternoon, Michael Miller with the MPO. I'm here just to briefly remind everybody here that the MPO is currently developing its long-range plan. And earlier, or I guess in the fall of this year, there was 5 engagement opportunities for us to engage the entire public. And what we're looking for is opportunities from the rest of the bodies, to include this board, is opportunities for us to make presentations as we develop this plan. So for example, one of the things that we're looking for that is non-traditional is to engage in certain activities that anybody may possibly have. So for example, farmers markets or things of that nature that we can engage the public. Because for the most part, is that a lot of folks don't understand what an MPO is. And then once we develop a plan and the policy board adopts it, there's always a question, well, why didn't we know about this plan? Why isn't our project being programmed? So the idea here is that as we move through time, and we'll come back and make a presentation to this body of our schedule for public engagement. So I'm just here to pass on along the word. We will certainly work with Mr. Cruz and his staff if there's any other engagements, but I am open to any questions, comments, or opportunities for public involvement. Okay. Yeah, I think we could sell bikes or something, to make it. But again, thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. And do we have any new or that's it? New or unfinished business?
Mayor, before we close, just wanted to thank the board sincerely. Thank you for your leadership throughout the year. Like it's been echoed already by staff, but without you, we can't do what we do. So I want to thank. I know you guys' schedule is busy at your individual cities, and it takes great effort for you to be able to show up every month at our board meeting. So. Sincerely want to thank everybody for participating, and for those that have not, we'll continue to reach out maybe change the flavor of the lunch menu or something to try to get him here to show up at the board meeting. Because what we do, as every prayer we say, it affects the entire region. And so, like I've said before, we're just an extension of you, of the city, of the county. And so whatever we do is for the benefit of the region and the citizens that use our service. So wholeheartedly, I want to thank everybody for their participation, leadership, and support throughout the year. And Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Thank you, Annie. And I also want to thank everyone for accommodating everybody's schedule on staff. That is, I know we moved into in-person. I think this is great. It was time for us to do it. I think it's nice that we get to meet and kind of get to know everybody. There's a lot of new faces. And so I think it's a wonderful opportunity. I want to thank staff for making sure that they gave ample notice to the board so that way everyone could be here. And I know everybody's schedules are really, really tight right now. So I appreciate y'all coming and making quorum for us. And also, of course, the incredible staff for all the work that they do throughout the year. Manny is incredible to work with. And so I think that the organization is in such great condition and we're doing so well because Manny's at the helm. So we really thank you for your leadership. Makes it easier for the board. And so we thank you. And I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, and God bless you and all of your families as well. Thank you. And if there's nothing else, we're adjourned. No.
Next year, man, we're already.